digest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly high. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Right, breathe it in, smell it, live it. It is the pre-derby night show. Of course, it is Tottenham versus Arsenal, Arsenal versus Tottenham, whatever it is. It's the North London derby. It's pride, it's history, it's bragging rights for months. Form doesn't really matter. League position, no, I don't care about that either. Nerves through the roof at the moment. Tonight, we break down everything ahead of this massive North London derby. Who wins the midfield battle? Who handles the pressure? Who becomes a derby hero? This is war. This is passion. This is what football is all about. And welcome to THFC Till We Die, home of Tottenham past, present, and the exciting future under the mighty cockerel. Or we're now into the Tudor era where people are more joyful. They're dancing around maypoles. They're having cups or whatever, pints or whatever they used to drink back in them days. And joining me through this sort of turmoil, we have got an Arsenal fan coming. He's venturing into the Lions Den, but normally is a man that's there within the heartbeat of the Tottenham community. He's got his ear to the ground. He is the Simon Jordan of this channel. It is the one and only Tequila. How are you, bud?
And I've got myself on mute. I'm fine, Emma. How are you? That was a good start.
I always do that. Look, you're not the other one. I'm fine. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm nervous. Just come off an Arsenal channel. So I was giving it large. I was giving it we're going to beat them large. And of course, down below, it is the return of the Mac. As I said, I would say to him. It is the return of the Rayman. After a week's break, he had enough of Tottenham. He had to take a week away, looking for the Dean Scarlett replacement. He was, and I wonder, did he find the Dean Scarlett replacement? We don't know. But Rain, how are you, bud?
It's Dane Scarlett. Dane.
Okay, sorry.
And the dog.
Sorry.
Think of a Great Dane, the dog.
Yeah,
Dane
I know. I apologize. Sorry. Yeah, I'm tired. It's been a long week. How are you, Rain, though, bud? It is Dane Scarlett. Tequila is right. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm fine. Looking forward to getting back to the lane tomorrow. Well, the players had a 5-day break, so I figured I'd have one as well.
Yeah, it's been a long time, guys, since the last Spurs match. We were talking about it earlier, Rain, how long it's been. I mean, Tequila, it does feel like, I think Rain said it's something that really sort of stuck with my head. He said it felt like the start of a new season. Does it feel like that to you, that it's like a start of a new era tomorrow?
No, it feels like an international break. It's not, but it feels like one because we're out there.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's the closest thing I can put it to. It feels like an international break.
No, that's fair. I mean, look, I'll start off. What does the North London derby mean? What does it mean? Like, what does it mean to you guys? What does it mean to a non-Tottenham or Arsenal fan? How, if you were to go to a Chelsea fan or a Liverpool fan, it's explain to them what a North London derby is all about. How would you explain it? I mean, Tequila, how would you explain it? Then, Rana, get down to you, bud, and then next question, I'll do it the other way around.
I think a Liverpool fan would understand it. I don't think a Chelsea fan would, because Fulham is there meant to be rivalry, Chelsea and Fulham, and I just don't think that it seemed that big. But I think you go to Liverpool, they'll understand, because it's Liverpool and Everton. Liverpool got a couple. Liverpool got United as well, haven't they? So they've got a couple of rivals. So that's the best way I'd describe it to a Liverpool fan. Just look at themselves in Everton. Chelsea aren't a real club anyway. We know that. I'll pay for that later on. That's how I describe it.
I would agree. Chelsea are not a football club at all.
I'm going to pay for that.
Yeah, I think we're both full. Rain, for you, I mean, North London derby is one of the two biggest games of the year for us. Of course, Tottenham, Arsenal, Tottenham doesn't, which matter. It goes back to 1913 when Arsenal came into got Tottenham relegated and took their place in the first division, and it goes back further than that. Even then, moving into North London. I mean, do you think it's one of the biggest derbies in the world? I like to think it is. I like to think it's probably one up there, probably the top 10 of derbies. I think it is there. Do you or not? Do you class it as a big game, or do you class it as just?
I don't think it's bigger than like the Milan derby or
Madrid.
Or Madrid. Yeah, Madrid's another good one. I still think of Rangers and Celtic as being one of the biggest derbies. I think the biggest problem with Spurs Arsenal derbies is that it's only when we beat them under Conte, when we had that 3-0 win, we were actually competing. We were like actually competing together for spots. Where those spots actually are, is irrelevant. The fact that you're directly competing against that team as well. Whereas, let's face it, a lot of the 90s, especially the late 90s and the 2000s, where Wenger basically changed Arsenal from the boring side that they've effectively always been. That's their DNA. To a bit more sort of freestyle, very much counter-attacking team with Omri and Bergkamp up top. They were miles ahead of us at that point.
Yeah.
Right. And obviously then we, for a period of time in the late 2010s, went past them and significantly past them.
Yeah.
But it's only that period. It's only that season where we've both been in the same space. So, to be honest, I'm the type of fan. I very much focus on Tottenham.
Yeah.
I don't really get into the whole. I don't get into the I have to hate them, and it's also the fact that I've always had really good mates who are Arsenal fans, and good mates in the sense that we don't really have a lot of banter. We actually talk about things in an analytical way. So for me, I don't want to say. I don't want to say it's just another game, because it isn't. But it's not the be all and end all for me, just because it's not.
For me, it's different because everyone's different and everyone sees the game differently, which is what it should be. Football and its opinions shift like sands in a desert. Everyone's got a different opinion. Everyone sees the game differently. You could have 20 people in a room and they're all going to see the game totally different. Nobody's going to agree with one another, which is the beauty of the sport. For me, it is all about passion tomorrow. tomorrow is different. Tomorrow it's about North London. It's about having that pride that we haven't had a great season. Tomorrow's, the game's only 3 points. You win, you gain 3 points. You draw, you get 1 point. You lose, you get nothing. So, in that point of view, I think I agree with you. And I think you're right in what you're saying. I think you're on spot in what you're saying. But me as a fan, I think tomorrow matters. Tomorrow's about attitude. Tomorrow's about pride. Tomorrow's about putting Nick into the dumps that he's going to cry going to bed tomorrow night. And and where I do agree with you, Celtic and Rangers probably the biggest derby in the world, and it's probably top 5 for me. I think we're thereabouts with the Manchester derby. I think you could say the same about that as well. I think tomorrow is about, because of what's on the line, with Arsenal going for the title, for us trying to stay up and get points to stay up. This is what's made this game bigger than it probably would have been if there was nothing to play for. It'd just be a North London derby. Tomorrow, with what could happen for both clubs, I think that's put the extra spice into it. I'm big up to you, Nick. Welcome. Very brave for you coming into Lions Den 24 hours ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Put the cat among the pigeons,
Yeah. What does North London? I'd say ask the guys. What does the North London derby mean to them? What does it mean to you? Do you agree with Rain that it's? I think he's right to say it's just another game. I think Tequila said the same thing as well. It's just another game. It's a derby, but it's. But do you think tomorrow's added extra on?
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't say it's just another game. It's just a lot of people hype it up.
Yeah.
A lot of people hype it up as and I understand why they do, and I respect why they do. I've never lived in and around the Tottenham Stadium, right? Mm-hmm. My journey to Tottenham came through family and circumstances, and I can understand if you're living in the area. I can empathise with people who have that viewpoint. I just don't.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, there are some Arsenal fans that are kind of like, our rival is in London is Chelsea, and our rival is United, because they grew up in that era, where United, it was like, and that we went at it. And there have been times when it's been like that with Liverpool, but not to the extent or sustained period that it was for United. I mean, going into the Premier League era, I think Arsenal might have been second in Trophy Hall to Liverpool. Liverpool were like streets ahead of everybody. They were the big boys. And then Everton and United were closely behind, and then United had the Premier League era. And I think that kind of forged for a lot of Arsenal fans a rivalry. Chelsea then were the upstarts that came later. Abramovich's money rolled in and kind of brought everything. For me, Tottenham is that, because I get the same sort of feelings going into those matches. So I hate losing to United. I hate losing to Chelsea. I've got more respect for Tottenham than I have for Chelsea. If you guys win anything, if you guys were to win the league, I would freaking hate it. I would hate it. It would wound me, but there would be a respect there for something authentic. Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of like how I am about City as well. Got no time for them and Chelsea, So for me, it's still very important. I get anxiety over the match. I get the nerves before. I'm going to be a wreck when, all the rest of it. Because, and I think sometimes we're scared to say that because of the emotions and all the rest of it. And not only that, the way that some people banter about football, poke the wound and and I'll be staying. If we lose tomorrow, I'm staying off social media. I'll come on here, Derm, if you need me to. But I'm going to stay off social media for like 2 weeks. It'll hurt too much to look at it, and it would just be like, no, I can't, and all the rest of it. So of course it matters. It's one of those fixtures that you check for, the Liverpools, the Uniteds, the Chelseas, and because of the sentiment behind it all, Tottenham. So it is still very important.
Yeah. and because she sneaked into North London on the back of a railway train and he never went
Listen,
back
we
since.
just heard that it was derelict and there was nothing important there, so we came in.
Yeah, well, you did build a stadium on top of an open sewer. I mean, it couldn't get much worse, to be fair.
Well,
I mean, you were chopped out of South
turned
London.
out all right. It turned out all right in the end, didn't it?
It did. I mean, you heard Barnet were your biggest rivals, and you thought, oh, we can beat Barnet.
They
You
still
didn't
are.
look up the Seven Sisters Road. Still are, you sod. Right, let's welcome a few people in the chat. We'll get on to it. Big up to Giant68. Giant68 got your intro. Absolutely love it. It is part of the. We have got it a little intro with the music added to it. O'Connell Designs knocked something up for us very, very brilliantly. So you might get surprised tomorrow at 7 o'clock, 11 o'clock tonight. You might get surprised. Keep looking. And he says, hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, and take out your memberships. You know it makes sense. Yes, there's going to be a new member show starting. The predicted lineup is going to be for members because we come up with a new design. And we hope people like it. Big up to Stephen Cartwright says 1-0 City. I think it's 1-1 now. No, 2-1 City. O'Reilly's just put them ahead. So Man City are beating Newcastle 2-1. 3 goals in basically 2 goals in 4 or 5 minutes up there. And West Ham did draw 0-0 with Bournemouth. So we're now 4 points above the dreaded drop zone. Big up to Tequila and Ryan and Nick as well. Evening all, hope you're well. Big up to you, Stephen. We've got Peter. Can't see his first name. Big up to you, Peter. He says, big up, Dermot. Let's go. That's it, Peter. You got the spirit. Go on. Big up to you. We've got Elspur live from Las Vegas, sprinkling a little bit of Vegas for you, Tequila, onto the channel. Coys from Vegas, walking the dog in the bright sunshine here.
Makes you feel envious, doesn't it? Makes you jealous.
He's still waiting for you. He's still waiting for your invite, Elspur. He's still waiting for his invite.
I'll be there for WrestleMania, mate. That's in Las Vegas.
Yeah, there you go. You know who to look up for while you're there. Big up the column. It's a great view, and thank you very much for O'Connell Designs as well. Connor, you've done a lot of good work for us, and really love it. Big up to you, bud. 4-point gap now, lads. Don't look down. Now we be grand. We be grand. We're not going down. We're too big to go down. You know. Mind you, I don't know what you guys think, but watching football without VAR might be a bit of fun, to be fair. No
There's
VAR.
a silver linings for everything.
There is a silver lining. Big up the Coys, Paul Brown, Evening Dermot, panel just in the wake. Just pray we make the place into an imitating fortress. Yes, we will be. We will be. Big up to John. He says, long as they coming up, Colonel Dermot. All Spurs supporters stand by. Points coming our way. Stand by for action. Exactly. Stand by for action. We are going to take all 3 points. Big up Stephen Cartwright. Spurs' biggest rival is our owners. Yes, one of them. And Arsenal. Yeah. And then big up to Rainer Coyce. Says we're going to leave the Gooners shook tomorrow. 1-0. Not to the Arsenal. Exactly. We're going to whoop them tomorrow. We're going to whoop them, and we're going to do Zaire. We're going to be Muhammad Ali against George Foreman, up against the ropes for 7 rounds. They punched themselves out. I'm going to rope-a-dope them and knock them out and shock the world and beat Arsenal. We're going to shock the world tomorrow. So, North London derby, right. Rain, I want to start with you, bud. With the new manager coming in, how much of an impact do you think that does have on the game tomorrow?
I think it adds quite a lot of uncertainty, doesn't it? And none of us are really sure what kind of impact he's going to have. Obviously, we've had a 10-day break, 11-day break, and 5 of those days they were sent off just to get some recharge time, which I think was fantastic. I think, to be honest. Yeah. You know, I know there's a lot of people who are like, oh, these guys should be working. Do you know what? Sometimes you need a break. Sometimes you need to get a little bit of perspective and to recharge. And then they've come back and they've had a good 5 days with Igor Tudor and the coaching team. And I think the coaching team's significantly reduced from what Frank had. Frank had like 6 or 7, was it? I think. And it's come down quite significantly. So we know that he's going to be. We know that he prefers a certain formation as well. which will suit us because it's a back three.
Mhm.
And will he give them the rocket? Will they come out with some bim and bigger, which I don't think's been necessarily missing, but we definitely needed some new energy
Mm.
in the first team in on the pitch. And obviously, the easiest way to do that is to get a new coach,
Yeah.
come in and do that to the players. Unfortunately, he doesn't seem to have realised that our injury crisis is not actually an injury crisis and an injury normal. It's just what happens at Spurs. We need a squad of 35, not 25, so that we can manage our injuries.
Yeah.
But so he's going to have the same players.
Yeah.
Probably roughly the same formation. So it's going to be what kind of energy he brings, Dermot.
But that's it, isn't it? It is about the energy. And Tequila, look, I've got this one for you. Column says, are you not concerned about the way he plays his teams 3 at the back and plays a high line? We did play a high line under Ange Postecoglou. Under Thomas Frank, we played more defensive type of football. Is there a happy medium for you where we can mix both worlds? But are you concerned if he does play a high line that these players might revert back to what they were under Ange Postecoglou when he was manager? And are you concerned with 3 at the back?
I'm concerned with 3 at the back because I don't think we've got the right centre halves for it.
Yeah.
Like Romero, if Romero hadn't got himself sent off, then I'd feel a bit better about it. But I think we've only got 2 quality centre halves. Danzo's okay. He's all right. I wouldn't say he's quality, but he's all right. Playing 3 at the back. So I'm assuming we're talking Dragusin then, Van der Vaart, I wish, Van der Ven, and Van der Ven, and then Paulinho, I suppose, he's going to drop in there. I'd rather him not do it. I'm not saying he can't, but I'd rather him not do that.
Robs the midfield there.
I agree. So it's like it feels a little bit again in square peg into round holes. It feels a little bit like that. I don't think we should be playing. I think we should be playing 4 at the back. I think because of our defensive problems at the minute. But he's not going to do that, as you said, as Com's put in the chat. He plays 5 at the back or 3 at the back. He's not going to change. I got a lot of concerns about it. I seem to be one of the few people who is really kind of scared about him coming in. Everyone seems to have just jumped on board. I feel like I'm kind of a man about the island. I'm greatly concerned about picking this guy. I think it might end up being a massive, massive mistake. But can't change it now, guys. Have to be all in.
What is your concern about this manager then? If you're really concerned about him coming in and taking charge, who would you have picked then? Who is the manager you thought Tottenham might have gone after to steady the ship and get us out? Because this manager does have a sort of a sheet that he does get teams out of trouble. He does get them into Champions Leagues. What makes you so concerned about this appointment? Who would you have gone for?
By how he's been described, and I haven't seen, I can't sit here and say, oh, I've seen all this stuff at Marseille. I haven't. I've probably seen a couple of matches he's managed without even realising it was him, just through watching other games. But he seems to me just like a foreign version of Sam Allardyce.
Yeah.
So why not just get Sam Allardyce? At least he knows the Premier League. He speaks English. Because I think all these players really need... we don't need a tactical guru right now, don't we? We need 3 wins.
No.
We need somebody who's going to get in there and either give them a kick up the backside or put their arm around them, depending on the player's personality, right? I said the whole time that Harry Redknapp was the easy choice for me. We didn't go that route. We've gone with this guy instead. I can't believe people think this is a better idea than Harry Redknapp, but...
I slightly disagree with Harry Redknapp on that.
Yeah, but
you may not.
If you need somebody to come in and do what I just said, you don't think Harry Redknapp couldn't have done that?
No, I think Harry Redknapp's too long out of the game. I just don't think.
Yeah, but we just need somebody to just give these to just manage these guys. We don't need somebody to come up with these fancy tactics. It's just 3 wins.
Yeah. I just don't think. I think Tudor probably was the right choice. I think he was recommended by Paratici.
But based on what?
Based on his record of going in, being a firefighter and getting teams out of trouble, getting teams into the into Champions League, I think you go for a Harry Redknapp or somebody like that, you're going to have to build a specific team around this man who hasn't managed in the Premier League for a long time.
It's only for 2 months, then. I never said about
Yeah,
making him
but
a permanent manager.
any decision that they make, Tequila, if it was to bring in Harry Redknapp or Tudor, if it goes wrong, that means we might get relegated. If it goes right, then the club's a genius. If they get it wrong, then the Lewis family have made a big blunder. And you could have still had that. The Harry Redknapp has its pros, yes. Players will probably love his hand-on management. The negative to that is him being out the Premier League for so long. But I know people say, look, Martin O'Neill's what he's doing at Celtic. But I'm sorry, the Scottish League, it's not the same as the Premier League. I
Well,
think
that's interesting when you use that, because when people said that about Ange, apparently people didn't like that argument. So you can't use it.
Well, I just see it slightly different. I just don't think Harry Redknapp was.
I don't mind people seeing it slightly different, but my point is that if not Redknapp, fine. If they had a great idea for somebody significantly better, but this guy isn't that. This is what I mean. We've gone with somebody who isn't.
Yeah, sorry I just think you made a mistake quitting on the manager.
What, Frank?
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying he was going to take you to the promised land.
Oh, yeah.
But I can see this manager maybe getting a couple of wins. And this is what I said on the last stream when I was with you on, I think, on the deadline day.
Yeah.
The reality of the season is this. Are you going to get relegated? You're too good to get relegated. It's not going to happen. And you may dally with it and it will get close and you're going to get bantered and the fans are going to get on edge. But the truth is, it's just not going to happen. You're going to pick up a couple of wins. You're going to get somewhere between 10th and 15th. That's roughly where you're going to be, right? I don't think this manager will do any different to what Frank would have done in terms of the end goal. It's just cost you a load of money, a load of disruption. I think you should have seen it through to the summer. So thank you very much, and there you go. And then be decisive in what you do. It's just because I think going into, it's going to be easy to get a tune out of the Tottenham boys for tomorrow. You've had, what is it? How long have you had? Nearly
12 days, isn't it?
12 days.
Yeah.
So this is the only, I think this is something like, this is one game in 17 days or something for you, because you don't play till the next weekend for your next match. So that you could have gave that time to Frank. Do you see where I'm coming?
Yeah,
already there, not trying to find his way, not trying to, I just felt like it could have. I know the fans were unhappy, and rightly so, and I know there was the elements within the dressing room were disgruntled. But I think also that the ownership, that's a statement. You're not just going to down tools and keep changing the manager. And I just feel like you would have been possibly in better stead going into this match.
I think whoever comes in, I think most of the fans would have been happy. It doesn't matter if you brought Harry Redknapp back or you brought Tudor in, whoever you brought in. I think we're all looking to the summer, and I think in the summer that's looking like Poch coming in. But I think for the next 12 games or whatever it is, I think you bring in a manager, you get a goodwill factor in, you get a result tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm really excited about tomorrow, not just because of the manager, because of we don't have Thomas Frank managing, because we know we might actually in the chance of winning the bloody game. But I get back to watching Tottenham playing some good football again, because it's been pretty dire. Some of the stuff we have watched, we've been too defensive at home. I mean, Rain, you go to the games, you go most of the home games. You know more than probably us three. I mean, tomorrow, what are you looking forward to going to tomorrow because Thomas Frank isn't there, or is Tequila right in saying, "Hang on, we should have choose somebody that knows the Premier League"? Does he have a point on that? And I think he may. I think to the majority of Tottenham fans, he may have a point.
I've never seen Frank as the problem, and I'm.
No, I know that.
So I don't know why you're asking me the question. Then I'm just going to come back with the same answer. But wait a minute. I'll give you an answer. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So Nick, I absolutely make you right, mate. I absolutely make you right. Tudor is going to have the same problem that Frank had, which is the same problem that Ange had, which is the availability of good enough players to put into the team to get a result. We've almost been fortunate that the lack of quality players hasn't been completely off. We have been able to put some decent players into some sort of formations. Although for the majority of this season, there's like some sort of typing or something going on in the background.
Sorry, guys, that's me.
Okay. We've had no left side at all.
No.
Right? In the summer, we knew. In January, we knew we needed a left winger and a left back. And the only thing we went and got was 19-year-old Sousa, the Brazilian left back, right? Who I now think we should just play. So, but what have they done? They've panicked. And it's understandable that they've panicked because you're saying 10th to 15th. We're currently 16th. And, we're bleeding points.
Yeah.
To such a degree, and everybody else is picking up points. When you're down there, you see it.
Oh yeah, of course.
Everybody else is picking up points, and yeah, we probably weren't going to get relegated, but they panicked and they had thrown money at it. Not least the compensation on Frank and all of the guys that we only got in 7 months ago.
Yeah.
Or in Heitinger's case. I think he was what was he? Was he with us for about 4 days or something? 4 or 5 days in total that Heitinger was actually with us. I don't think Tudor is going to make any great difference in the long term. We might get a bit of a bounce for 1 or 2 games.
That's what I think.
It is getting him in before the Arsenal game the right. Is that one of the games where you want to bounce?
Now, do you know what?
Yeah.
I think that's a stroke of genius as well, a little bit with your ownership, because if Frank lost, the anger and the vitriol from your fan base at the ownership and everything else would have been at epic levels. If you lose tomorrow, it will be, oh well, it's a new manager, Do you see what I mean? There'll be reason, it'll be rationalised away. He's not had long enough with the players. It's a brand new manager, and it won't hit. You'll be upset that you've lost the North London derby if it happens, but not to the same level if Frank was in charge. I think that's what the ownership have calculated on.
I think you're right. There is a bigger issue here, and I think Knights Republic. It is the squad that we've built over the 3 or 4 years, and I think Tequila, you've said it more than once or twice, Bud, that the squad is a mixture of different managers, isn't it? So it isn't really a squad that's all been built by one manager.
Yeah.
There's me, right? I'm totally opposite to everyone else on the panel. I'm pumped for tomorrow. It's the North London derby. I'm excited. We're going to beat them. It's all about pride for me. It's about getting the win, putting some pride back into Tottenham, putting some pride back into the shirt again, putting some pride back into our name, showing them Arsenal lot who's boss of North London. And if we dent the title charge, we dent the title charge. It's that's another win as well. I'm not one of these fans that see tomorrow as it's a free pass. That rarely gets up my nose. It rarely irritates me that tomorrow is bigger than that. But when you do see the squad, Tequila, it isn't the best squad put together. But if it was the owners that sacked Frank, surely Lang and Vinay should have gone by now. Or do you leave that to the summer?
Yeah, I mean, you leave it to the summer. What's the point of doing it now? What's the point of doing it now?
Doesn't affect the pitch.
Doesn't affect anything. Yeah, Nick's right. It doesn't affect anything. As far as you saying it's a free pass, I mean, I think if we lose tomorrow, Dermo, even if we get hammered tomorrow, what is your opinion on this manager going to be then? Are you going to be, oh, what an absolute disaster, even though we've just lost to the league leaders? Let's say we lose.
My reaction's going to be
4-0 tomorrow, and 4-0 tomorrow, for example, which isn't that unrealistic to me because that's how big the gulf is in my mind. So, what are you going to be like tomorrow with this Tudor guy? Are you going to be completely like?
You know full well what I'm going to be like. I'm going to be fuming because we've lost the North London derby. I'm not going to change. I'm still going to be the same as I was under Thomas Frank, as I was under Ange Postecoglou. I'm still going to be the same. I don't care if we're 15th or we're at bottom of the league and we haven't won a game all season. The North London derby for me is one of our games that I look forward to. It's a game I do not want to. I hate losing, but I hate losing to Arsenal even more. I hate Chelsea. Don't like West Ham. I don't like most London teams. Don't mind Man United because we got Man United friends. And like Rain says, I get what he's saying. You talk about the game, and I get the point he's making. But for me tomorrow, I love the banter that comes in with this game, but I hate losing to Arsenal. I cannot stand it because it's Arsenal. And I'd be the same as I am every game, but I'm not going to change. I'm going to be me, and I'm going to tell it how I see it. If that
I've got to say that you've got no Kudu, no Kulusevski, no Madison. That's a hard misses,
We've beaten you with lesser players, by the way, over the years. We've beaten you with lesser players over the years.
You have, and that wasn't my point. I was just thinking when we're talking about Frank and all the rest of it, and the games you've gone into, and the difference that those players could make in certain games. It has. I like last year with Ange. You really have got like mitigating circumstances when it comes to squad performance. And I know a lot of the fans were like, "Oh, when we get our players back, we're going to be right back up there." And you wasn't, because players that come back from long-term injury don't usually hit the ground running. It takes them 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 games to find their form again.
Well, let's face it, Nick. What was it? It was only 2 or 3 seasons ago. There were a significant number of Arsenal fans who were claiming that the fact that Saliba wasn't available was a prime mitigating factor for why Arsenal didn't get over the line. And then I've even seen some Arsenal fans claiming some sort of injury crisis over the last couple of months. And you've got like 3 or 4 players out. You're absolutely right. There are mitigating circumstances to why they're. Look, whatever happens tomorrow will happen, and
absolutely.
I hope that we rock up and we absolutely monster you. That's what I hope. I hope, but more so because I don't go there to see Tottenham lose. Whoever we're playing against.
Yeah.
But the fact is that realistically, tomorrow it's going to be, our squad minus half our squad
exactly
against your, which hasn't been built as well as your squad to start with,
because you've had too many visions go into it.
No, it's not. It's because they're rubbish. It's because it's not. This whole different manager thing is rubbish.
I do feel.
Look, you just have to look in January. We need a left back that went and got somebody who's 19 years old from the other side of the world. That's what they do. Yeah. We needed to replace Kane, so they went and got Richarlison. We needed to replace Sonny. They didn't bother because we had Tell 20 and Odebear 20, neither of whom have done anything in their careers. So this is the problem. The problem is not we've had different coaches. The problem is that we don't buy good players. That's it. That's the problem, right? It's nothing to do with the coaches whatsoever. Nothing, because it's been going on for 15 years, right?
No, I hear that.
So whilst like they went for Hincapié in the summer, and Arteta went, hold my beer, right? Or whoever at Arsenal went, hold my beer. We'll have Hincapié. And there were literally Spurs fans going, why would he go to Arsenal? He's never going to play. And he didn't even have to think about it. He didn't even have to think about it. People don't realise that players want to play. And the same with Eze. Why is he going to go there? He's not going to play. He didn't even have to think about it, because players don't care if they're going to play or not, or if nothing else, They will back themselves that they will play.
Yeah,
What they
absolutely.
want to do is they want to be in winning teams. That's what they
Yeah.
want to be.
Part of
And-
winning, part of a winning squad that wins championships and Champions Leagues that are competing at the top end of the table. Is that fair enough to say?
Yeah, I mean, competing. There's very, very few teams who actually win stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, there's very, very, very few teams that win stuff, but they want to be competing,
Yeah.
and they want to be in competitive teams.
Mm.
That's not Tottenham at the moment,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, hasn't been Tottenham for the last 6 years.
No, it hasn't. Yeah.
So
You're right on that.
So that's Nick. That's why we are where we are, and that's why tomorrow, we've got half a squad, and it was half a badly built squad. It was a badly built squad to begin with. So so tomorrow, you're going to turn up with pretty much a full team.
Yeah.
And we're gonna and our players need to go out there and actually deliver.
Yeah, they do. I mean, look, I want to change it a little bit to Arsenal, guys. Arsenal only 2 wins out of the last 7. You did draw against Brentford. Again, Brentford, I think, should have won, by the way. And you did lose a 2-0 win, a 2-0 lead against Wolves, as well at the bottom, Nick. And how have you felt for the last sort of 7 games? You're only 2 wins out of your last 7 isn't really championship form.
No, it's not. I think if anything, we are galvanising City, and City aren't having to be that great to find themselves back into a title race, and it is a complete stumble from our point of view. I'm not one of those fans. I've never have been where I'm like, I demand trophies. This club, we're all of that nonsense. I want my club to compete. And this is the painful side of competing if you don't get it over the line. I remember when Arsenal went second to United 3 years in a row. And not once did I hear someone say, oh, you've bottled it. United were just better than us. And over the course of 38 games, they were the better team. And it hurt me to say it, but that was the truth. And now we're here. And City are going to be 2 points behind us going into this game tomorrow. But my mind is like, well, you're still 2 points ahead. You've played 27 matches and you've got 2 points ahead of them.
Plus, they've got a game in hand in you as well, haven't they?
No, they haven't. They're playing that at the moment.
Oh, they're playing that at the moment.
Yeah, so they'll go within 2 points of us, I think.
Okay.
So this is and you're not always perfect, though. You're not always perfect in the season. And the thing is, with Arsenal, in years gone by, the same as last year, these draws that we're picking up would have been defeats.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's that sort of thing. And we've been kind of, and it feels like a defeat, but still you've picked up a point, and you don't know how important that point is going to be until you get to game day. You've completed game day 38. It could have been a very important point. And so people lose sight of perspective. And it's kind of like, I think Arsenal fans are waiting on this Arsenal team to show them that they've got the minerals for it, that they have got the hunger for it, because our problem is our front line. I think our front line doesn't scare people because there is no chemistry in that front line. We don't progress the ball fast enough from defence. So by the time we've done 20 passes in our own half, our forwards are already jammed up against the defenders, and you're going to have to be really precise with a ball to be able to get, and they're ignoring runners. So sometimes you just need to drop off your defender to get in behind. And we're doing this crab football out to the wings. Yet we brought Eze and Gyökeres down the middle, and we don't use them. And it's like, well, what's going on here? And it's kind of like we've brought these players, but now we're saying they're round pegs for square pegs for round holes. And it's like, well, yeah, we need to get a little bit more direct in our play. We need to speed up that play. I'm not a big fan of the over-rotation of defenders. You'll notice it tomorrow.
Yeah.
How we use our defenders around the edge of 18-yard boxes, because no matter how good your centre-backs are at playing the ball, they're not going to play the same ball that Eze would play, or an Odegaard would play, or a Saka would play, because they don't have the vision and technique. So you're robbing yourself of offensive creativity in those moments, because you've got a defender over rotated. And then if
Yeah.
we're hit on the transition, it's all a bit of a scramble. And I think that's kind of disrupted our defensive flow as well, because if you were talking about team of the year, I think our defence, goalkeeper and two of our midfielders walk into that team. When you start to talk about the next part of the team, the attacking part, it's kind of all falls to pieces a little bit because nobody is, and so tomorrow we've been struggling, but it's the perfect game to stop the rot.
Yeah. Man City do have a game here on handing you because of the Palace game was postponed because Arsenal are in the League Cup, and it's the week of I think it's
as we stand at the moment, the game they're playing today we stand on 27 games apiece.
Yeah. So when you play tomorrow, there'd be 28.
We'll go a game ahead. That's correct.
So Man City do have a game, and also you got to go to the Etihad as well and play them, which I think would either that will gauge where the title's going. If you beat City, then I think you lot win. If they beat you, I think do. Tequila, if you do look at Arsenal's
can I just ask Nick some questions on that? Because it is weird that like 3 or 4 years ago you had Saka and Martinelli, and they were absolutely flying, weren't they?
No, yeah,
they were absolutely flying. So you had that transition,
right?
And you were absolutely. I mean, I don't know. It feels like they had like 20 goals each.
Yeah, I know. It felt like we had prime Lundberg and Pires back again. I know what you mean.
It's just completely dropped off, and it's just completely gone. Yeah. And it's really, really because they're still in the team, and they're
Do you know what?
They're still. I don't get.
Rain, I thought, right. So if you go back 2-3 years, people didn't rate us. I remember do you remember that second place we had?
Yeah.
In the summer of that, when everybody was doing their league predictions, I was hearing all of the pundits turn around and say nobody is catching Liverpool or City for years. That was the common consensus. Yeah. So what that meant was nobody was low blocking Arsenal. People were coming and giving us a game. That space that those wingers had was completely different. So they weren't getting doubled up on per se. They weren't getting the space strangled. They weren't getting squeezed. So how that looks was completely different. So everyone who bins Martinelli, it's like, have a freaking brain cell. They're looking at other leagues going, oh yeah, that player in France will come over and they will do great better than Martinelli. And I'm like, have you not just seen what's happened to Gyökeres? Have you not learned that lesson? It doesn't always translate. So then I think if we sold Martinelli this year and say we sold him to Newcastle, Villa, Tottenham, maybe your Bournemouths, Brentfords, they would have that space again and start to look really good. And then you get the Arsenal fans going, why did we sell them? All the rest of it. They don't understand the reality of the football they're playing. But also, they look really good in a team that's trying to get top 4. But are they good enough to win the league? There's also that conversation as well as mitigating circumstances, And they're human beings. They get injured. They have things that go on, They're not machines.
That makes a lot of sense. Very much. That explains it. Actually, explains it really, really well. And I don't know why. I don't know why it didn't occur to me. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, look, very quickly, Tequila. Just bring you in, but then we are going to give our new sponsor a plug, and we have a bit of a premiere. Tonight, we're going to show you our new Match Day Live intro, done by O'Connor Designs. I think it's the best way, Tequila, to show people why they should go over to O'Connor's Designs. So, do you want to give a little brief output of O'Connor Designs and what they do?
Well, it's the guy who did our intro. It's the best way. So if you guys like our intro, that's what O'Connor Designs can do for you. And he's done other intros for us as well that we're going to be showing you over the next couple of, I think it's weeks, isn't it? 1 or 2.
This is the new one. This is the new Match Day intro. This is getting its premiere this evening. So, the email for that, isn't it? Is in the description below. But guys, do bear us 1 minute and 49 seconds. This is our new intro for Match Day Live. Let us know what it is. But this is O'Connor Designs, what it's all about. And Tequila, when I come back, I've got a question for you, bud. To bring you in. I've got a humdinger for you. And then we'll sort of end off there, guys. We'll go over the stats for tomorrow's game, get everyone's score predictions, and then we will leave it there. In quite a tame North London build-up.
Sorry.
It's just what the match is going to be like tomorrow. Anyway, here's the intro. O'Connor Designs, the best on YouTube. There. What do you think, guys? What do you think?
Nice.
Do you like it? I like the Arsenal bit in there with the Richarlison goal.
You had to get something out of that day, you know?
We did. We had to get something out of that day. Yeah, O'Connell Designs, if you can. The description is below. Please do. He does some great work. There's more stuff coming out. We've got a new design for the predicted lineup as well, which me and Rain had fun with earlier. That was fun actually earlier doing it. Actually, I don't think nobody in YouTube does it like that. So I think we're doing something completely new, which this channel is built on. It was fun, wasn't it? Earlier,
we just need some more players so we can actually have a proper row about what the lineup should be. So at the moment, it's a bit.
We had 13 players to pick from. Really, it sort of picked itself. But we tried to make it into an interesting predicted lineup. Tequila, what do you think of it, bud? I love it. I want to know what you think. Do you like
great.
it? Do you like the music?
Only thing it needed was Ginian's goal against Barnsley. Until I see that in the intro, I'm always going to say that's what it needs.
Well, you know, you got it in our original intro. I put that in there for you. You do realise when me and Colin put that together, I'd said you've got to put that in for Tequila, the Ginian goal. Look, last question. Then we'll go over the stats of the game, and then we'll get people's score predictions. Because Dermot Chunk's hungry, and I want my dinner. Tequila, would you, with Arsenal's bad form, 2 wins out of the last 7, that is a crisis for them. Believe me. Nick's been hiding under his chair for the last week in despair. The game against Wolves, do you think with Arteta that he might be the problem, not the players at Arsenal?
It's hard to know. I remember a couple of years ago, there's a large lot of, I'm sure Nick will back this up, or maybe you'll tell me I'm wrong, but I think they've wanted Arteta out for a while, and then it kind of changed.
Yeah.
I remember seeing some fans, I think anyone knows Lee Gunner, people might have heard Lee Gunner. I can think of him. Some of the rants he's had on Arteta as well. I can just remember it. So I think it's kind of shifted, but I think
not majorly. Not majorly.
Is it still the same? Is it still the majority want him gone then?
It's still not the majority, but it's still split.
Still split.
My answer to it is because it's almost like they always want to know, are you Arteta in or are you Arteta out? As though you're some part of stupid Marga cult or something like that. And I'm not. I'm Arsenal win. You know that's what I'm about. That's the only way. I'm not going to lose brain cells on it. And it is just kind of a case of you're finding how can you be ranting about a manager when you're top of the Prem? I don't. This
is the part I don't get, Nick.
I don't.
I don't get it. It's like I don't see how you really can complain. Even finishing. We would kill as a Spurs fan. I've said to Dermo knows this. This is why Pochettino for me he's significantly our best manager. even though he didn't win anything because he had us competing. So all Pochettino's doing is probably slightly worse than what Arteta's doing because we were finishing generally third, whereas you guys have been a couple of points off.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you've just kind of like destroyed it. You've been really close several times now. So it's like, we'd kill for a manager like that. So I don't understand it, but maybe that's just us sitting in
entitlement and lack of.
Maybe that's a good word.
Beta male energy. It's almost like I've got to support the best winning team, and I'm not, and I can't handle the banter. And it's like, come on, man.
You got to remember though, there's a lot of those Arsenal fans who you know came into the club in the
Wenger era,
in the early 2000s. What they're now coming up, they're sort of early to mid to late 20s. You know, still got some hormones running through them, as it were, and they're thinking back to the dominance. It wasn't really dominance.
It wasn't. It was just it was consistent competing.
In those time periods, and they hear people talking about the Invincibles without the context
around
that in the Invincible season was managed so well by Wenger. You weren't 100% dominant. He got results. You know, he really got results. I'm not denigrating it by any stretch of the imagination, but some people talk about it like it was, you know, it was just completely Arsenal and nothing else, and that isn't the way it was. So a lot of these guys are now coming into their mid to late 20s, and they're like, they want that Arsenal that they think that they had in the early 2000s. But now you've got, you know, okay, maybe not Liverpool, but you've certainly got City, who've just been dominating who have literally been dominating everything. So
I mean, people talk about. I saw it in the comments here. 100% sack better, like he had $1 billion to spend. But then you talk about that, but people forget about the 8 years where we had two owners doing a Mexican standoff and not spending anything, and then we have City in the past calendar year spent £450 million. And they've just basically gone to market 2 January windows and brought people in form to inject into the club. Who can compete with that, really? It's crazy. You know, Liverpool nearly broke themselves competing. Do you know what I mean? It was just kind of that what you have to do. And it is going to be really tough for any club to win the title, not just Arsenal, because everyone can talk about Arsenal and it's good to kick them. I get it. But there's 19 other clubs supposed to be competing.
Yeah, it's the Premier League. I mean, look, if you talk about Man City, they've had an unfair advantage for a long time, and this is why I think personally
Hopefully
that these charges that are against them should have been handed out by now. Should have been something. It's ridiculous that they've taken so long. But look, that's for a different show. Right, going to go around to each of you. I want you to give if you're in the Tottenham dressing room or the Arsenal dressing room, what would your pre-match? I want you to give a little pre-match pump up to the players. I want you in there really tell them what the North London derby means to you. So Tequila, Tudor's invite you into the dressing room. He goes, right, Tequila, I want you to give these players a good pump up for tomorrow's game. I want you to get them, tell them what it means to you as a Tottenham fan. So what would you say, bud?
I'd fire him. First thing I'd do, and bring in Harry Redknapp. That would be the first thing I did. If I can do this, then I'd get Harry Redknapp.
No, you're just a fan. You're not an owner. You're just a fan. You've just come in. He's invited you.
I'd get my kendo stick and start beating most of the players with my kendo stick, trying to get them to actually, you know, give a damn. Could I do that, Dermo?
Yeah, fine. You can. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I suppose it is pumping them up in a way. No.
All I'd really say to them, dude, is that all I think that us Spurs fans expect from them, and maybe you would disagree, Dermo, is effort. Nobody's expected them to go play Arsenal off the park. I don't think it's within them to do so. Like I literally do not think they had the capacity to do it. And that part isn't their fault. They're just not talented enough. That part isn't their fault if they haven't got the talent to do that. What they can control is effort.
Yeah.
That's it. If they run around, just like Redknapp said, whatever, just go run around a bit. That's it. If they run around a bit, give their all. If we still lose 4-0, I know, Dermo, you're going to be upset. I won't be upset if I see them put an effort in, because I understand that they're not good enough. We already did, with me, you and Rain did the show. We know they're not good enough. So why should I expect them to be good enough? That's more for me. That's my fault. If I've got unrealistic expectations on them, that's my fault. I'm setting myself up for a fall. I don't expect them to have a chance against Arsenal. I know they do not have the talent to be good enough. I've watched them play at home. They do not have the ability. What they do have the power to control, though, is effort.
Yeah.
That's all I want. Nothing more. Simple as that. Effort. Come back on your shield. You know what I mean? That's all I want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Nothing more.
Fair enough. That is fair. Rain, what would you say, bud?
I mean, I would never be that way in the dressing room, to be honest, Dermot. I'm not the passionate tub thumping. I wouldn't be that type of coach. I would be sort of relatively sort of steady. I would be talking about what our tactical situation is today, what we're expecting them to do, what our contingency plans are. I'm sorry it's boring, but that's the way that I would. That's the type of coach that I would be. I wouldn't be going in there and trying to rile them up and all that kind of stuff. It's just not the way. It's just not who I am.
No, I asked you a question. I asked you what you would do, and that's
it's not who you are, mate. It's not who you are, mate.
You asked me to go into the. I'm answering it in the same way. You asked me to go into the dressing room and give them a tub thumping, emotional thing, and I'm just not that type of man.
That's your answer. That's fine. I've got no problem with that. That's a good answer. Do you know? It's how you see it. That everyone is different. That's fair. Nick,
I'm not allowed to swear, right?
Just say what they used to say. It's Tottenham lads. That's what you got to say.
Yeah.
I'll be like, boys, it is time for you to go out there and play like champions. And any one of you MFers that do not play today, I'm selling you to that lot in the other dressing room. Get out there and win the game.
As to run out the door.
Absolutely. And then it'll be like 4-0 at half time to Tottenham. And I'll be like, did you not hear me? 6-0 at after, full time.
Yeah, that's fair. Everyone knows who I am. Everyone knows what I'm like when it comes to these games. I do. I'm the one that pumps the chest, that does this and means everything. I'd be very simple with my message. Remember who you are. Remember who you play for.
Sorry, I've got Lion going in my head going, remember.
Remember why you were given this opportunity to play for this shirt. What's on your shirt? You're playing for them 50, 40,000 fans out there. Millions of people watching the world round. Remember, you're not playing for yourself, you're playing for them.
Yeah.
And I'll show him a short clip about Bill Nick. I'll get him to do the pre-talk. I'll get him to speak from the grave. And then that will get the players pumping. So score prediction. Tequila, what's your score prediction tomorrow, bud?
3-0 to Arsenal.
Oh, blimey, no.
Rain, what are you going for, bud?
2-1 Spurs.
Nick?
I'm going to go 3-2 Arsenal. I think we can get at your defence, but I think you can get at ours as well. And it's going to come down to the midfield. I think you're going to see one of the best Spurs, regardless of who was going to be in charge of you. I think it's the sort of game. Who's your game after us? Fulham?
Yeah.
You're going to get battered by them 5-0. But you're going to turn up against us. It is the Spurs way, isn't it? So you're going to get battered 5-0 by Fulham, but you're going to turn up against us. I wouldn't be surprised, but 3-2 I'm going for.
I think we need to get you emotional. I think we need to get the Arsenal
crowd up.
The Arsenal players clearly, what I've seen over the last couple of games, clearly feel they look under pressure. And if we can get them emotional, if we can get an early goal, if Spurs can get an early goal, then it will be an absolutely cracking game, because I think Arsenal will they will panic. I think
Now
Which will make for a
I'm
good
struggling. I'm struggling. Do I give a normal score prediction or a delusional score prediction?
Hey, I've already been on a stream with you, mister. You've already gave us score prediction. Come on.
Yes,
What
my
did you say?
delusional one was 5-1 Tottenham. That was my delusional one. So you've even gone one more than my normal 4-1 tequila.
Unbelievable.
My normal one is 2-1 Spurs.
Okay.
I think so. But
Have you got a
guys,
feeling
that
on a
is-
particular player to score, gents? Who are you feeling? I'm feeling
Oh.
Solanke. I think he might pop up with one for you.
I'm feeling Simmons.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think Xavi and Solanke would be
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah. Tequila?
Declan Rice is going to get one.
Yeah, he's going to get sent off in the first minute because I don't like him. He's a traitor. Yeah, and just to add it out there, yes, Ireland did win the rugby today. We did not just beat England. We battered them. We humiliated them in the home of rugby. The home of rugby's in Dublin.
It's not
mate.
a real sport
Don't you
anyway.
ever forget it. You what?
It's not a real sport anyway, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, but look, we look. Anytime Ireland beat England, it's always a good day in my book. So so that is everything ahead of the Tottenham Arsenal in the massive North London derby. Tactics discussed. Not really. It's going to be whoever gets the ball on the net first. Key battles highlighted. Predictions made. Now it's down to the players. No fear, no excuses. Just fight. That's all I want. A good fight in the pitch. A bit like ice hockey. Because in this game, it's not just 3 points, it's North London pride. So drop your final score predictions in the comments. Like the video if you're ready for war. Subscribe so you don't miss the watch along and full-time reactions tomorrow. Next time we speak, we will know who rules North London. And of course, it's going to be Tottenham Hotspur. Thank you very much for tonight. So, Nick, where can people find you, bud?
They can find me on page 152 in the Argos catalogue, and they can and page 72 of the Victoria Secret catalogue. That is me. In the
He's very good. I must admit, in the secret one, he's in good company.
Right.
That's all I'm going to say.
Hello.
Tequila, where can people find you, bud? And I'll bring
Not
up
in-
your link.
Not in any catalog, I can tell you that. They want to sell stuff, right? Yeah, you can find me on here. You can find me on the Play Pouch, and it is the gaming channel, and you can find me on the new wrestling channel, No Cell, which I've just put into the chat. Thanks.
No problem. And thanks. And Rain, where can people find you, bud?
I don't have an answer to it.
He floats around.
In the ether.
In the ether.
Wherever.
Just very quickly, I didn't do this and I'm bad. I'm sorry. These are the stats for tomorrow's game. As you can see, not really much in it. 67 played Arsenal times, 24 draws, 15 wins for Tottenham, 13 at home, 2 away. Arsenal 28 total wins, 20 at home, only 8 away. In the league position, because as you can see, we're 16th, 7 wins, 8 draws, 11 defeats, 7 clean sheets. Arsenal first in the league, 17 wins, 7 draws, 3 defeats, 13 clean sheets. Tottenham's win, with no wins in the last 5, basically. We're having a great run, but no wins. Arsenal, a little bit different. Only 2 wins out of the last 7, and only 1 win in the last, 2 wins out of the last 5 as well. Last 5 games, of course, Arsenal have dominated with 4 wins and 1 draw. The last time we beat Arsenal was that night with Conte. When we did, that was the end of it to beat them to 4th place. And then referee tomorrow, of course, is going to be Peter Banks, the assistant Edward Smart, Blake and Provost, Samuel Barnett and Timothy Wood. And then, of course, if you do want to watch it, of course, it will be here live on THFC on Sky Sports Premier League, ESPN Argentina. In South Korea, it'll be on Kupang Play. In the United States, it's going to be on the USA Network Telemundo. And if you live in Canada, it's going to be on Fubo TV in Canada. What are you sniggering at?
Nothing.
What? The US Network Telemundo?
That wasn't the name I was laughing at, no. Never mind.
Which one were you laughing at?
Why don't you repeat them all, then you'll see. No.
Kupang Play?
Yeah.
It is.
I'm still a teenager, all right? Leave me alone.
Yeah. After this, you go to bed. Right, on that bombshell.
Gents, it was a pleasure talking to you. It really was. And if you want me back on the return leg to gloat when you've beaten us, that's absolutely fine. I'll be here.
Look, whatever happens, we might get you on tomorrow, Nick, if you're around for after the whistle to give you thought. And I'm going on to your one as well, win, lose or draw. So we are going there. But guys, this is it. The end of the show. See you tomorrow at 4:00 with a watch along. Whatever you do, get your Spurs colours out, get your flags out, get your scarves ready. Tottenham red, Arsenal ready for war. It's going to be North London white because we're going to beat them Gunners and put a dent in their title charge. So come on, you Spurs, in the big cockerel we trust.